week, and then he looked like Kirk Cousins the next week. All right, guys, we'll talk some more NFL later on. Don't forget John McMullen later on in the week. We've got Dr. Football on tomorrow. We're going to talk some Indians when we come back because the end of the season is upon us, and I'll tell you, well, you know what? I'll get into my thoughts here in a minute. Good, bad, and ugly. I'm going to open up the phone lines. I see some callers on the line. Let's take them. 216-539-7535. 216-539-7535. We're hitting it all today, fellas. Don't worry. We got the Buckeyes coming up. Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan. We're going to talk some baseball, set the stage for the playoffs, Cavaliers, and so much more. We're going to start it off right here where the Indians ended it yesterday with a victory, the 85th of the season, and the final game of the season. We're talking Tribe when we come back. Your calls, hit us up, 216-539-7535, talking Indians baseball when we come back here on the Sports Fix.
If you want it, you're gonna believe the price to pay, and you're a very sexy girl, very hot man. You can take some bright lights, but you won't get them for free. In the jungle, welcome to the jungle. Feel my serpentine.
This is the Sports Fix.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Hey, call me Mr. Pig!
We'll call you whatever you like, as long as we can call you a fan of the Sports Fix.
Guys, want to take just a second as we head into this break and remind you about the official business printing source of the Sports Fix, our friends at Signs and Ship. Signs and Ship, I'm telling you, Chris and Pam, they've taken care of me since day one, and they can do the same for you. Whether you're a small business that's already been established and you're looking to grow to that next level and expand your business, or perhaps you've got an idea that you just know is going to be a great business and you need to figure out how to brand it and how to promote it and put it out there, Signs and Ship is the place for you. If you need a logo, they can create one for you. They have a fantastic graphic designer. Business cards, signs, banners, yard signs, mobile advertising, anything you can think of that you need to promote your business, they've got it at Signs and Ship. The best thing about them, too, is each of their locations, whether it's the home base here in Elyria, Ohio that I work with, or their spots in Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania, it's all local sourced. Very important to me because we all understand that small business is the lifeblood of the community. So check them out, signsandship.com, or call Chris and Pam today, 440-323-6060, the home office in Elyria, Ohio. Signs and Ship, quality printing at affordable prices.
Hey everybody, this is Jerry the King Lawler from WWE, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
It's just an old ball, really. Nothing more. We grew with it and studied it. We owned it and shared it. We prayed they would hit it and miss it. We prayed they would catch it and drop it. We wanted it to bounce and fly, speed up and slow down. We prayed it would come to us, and we wanted to give it away. We have watched it weather storms and bask in the sun. And it's always right here in our hands. Cleveland Indians, established 1901.
Sports Fix listeners, like us on Facebook today. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix.
You love Cleveland, and you already know how much we love Cleveland. You know who else loves Cleveland? GV Art and Design. Everyday fans, you and I wear our pride on our sleeves. Now, you can wear your pride on your chest. GV Art and Design has one of the hottest Cleveland sporting lines. Log on right now to gvartwork.com. Check out all of their fantastic designs. And don't forget, use the sales code FIX10, FIX10, to save 10% on your total purchase. Follow gvartwork.com on Facebook, and remember, GV Art and Design, it's not just a shirt, it's a statement.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck, home of the low price tire guarantee. QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck.
Tell them, BB King. I mean, what are the Indians fans get? The thrill is gone. I know it'll be back. It won't be that long, and there's a lot of other things to keep us busy. But, man, I'll tell you, that last day after the season ends, and I know we got different fan bases and different opinions on things and all of that. But, man, if you're an Indians fan, if you're a baseball fan, you always that day at the end of every season. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm this way at the end of, well, except maybe certain seasons where you may lose like 27 games in a row and things like that. I think we've been through a few of those the last few years for the different sports. But, for the most part, you go, man, come on, man. Don't be over. I want another game tomorrow. That's the beauty of baseball, is that there's always another game tomorrow until there's not. And the Indians kept themselves relevant through 159 of the 162 games here before it fell short the other night. They kept themselves, even the other teams, kept them alive an extra day. Oakland lost on Thursday when we went to the final show of the week last week and headed into the weekend, and Tribe kept themselves afloat on Friday. I was out calling the action. I had games all weekend this weekend. Thanks to those of you, by the way, who tuned in and listened. Had games all weekend this weekend, and so I didn't get a chance to listen. Of course, the final Corey Kluber game of the season. Didn't get a chance to listen. Oh, I felt bad, too. A couple of people I saw bought tickets to Saturday specifically, and then the Indians switched the rotation around. A couple of people got hosed on seeing the final appearance by Kluber, and what an appearance it was. Went back and checked it out afterwards, but coming home, I pop on the post-game show as quick as I can. I'm driving. I'm like, oh, man, Indians won. Corey Kluber, they're playing the highlights. It's all right, man, 8 strikeouts. 9. Oh, way to go, Corey Kluber, setting records. Good season. Good to head into whatever's coming next with some momentum for the Cy Young voting. And then they come back live and they go, but unfortunately, Indians win. And the season ends tonight as Oakland takes care of their own business and eliminates the Indians. My heart, kind of sunk a little extra step. You knew it was improbable. I mean, you knew. And I'll tell you what, guys, this whole season, there's if we only would have that the Indians can talk about. But, man, looking at how the final standings fell out here, even just in the last few weeks of the season, looking at it now with hindsight, we can see that everything that the Indians needed to happen happened. Like all that stuff that we talked about at the end of August and beginning of September, and even as things got bleak and we kept going. Look at how, this is the first time there hasn't been a triple-digit wins team in a while here. And you can see the competitiveness and how lumped up together all of these teams were here. It was there for the taking with a lower win total than I think any of us thought the Indians may have been able to sneak in there with. And you look at, you can look at a whole season. Remember, we had a list of about a dozen games in the middle of the year that they had given away for various reasons. But just in the last 2 weeks, you look at a game here and there. You look at losing 3 to Detroit. You take just one of those. You take one more from Kansas City, and all of a sudden, perhaps the Indians are playing today. It almost, by the way, did you notice even after the Tribe was out of it, it almost fell out to where there could have been 3 play-in games here today. It didn't work out that way, but I'm like, man, I told you, man, maybe we may be lining up for some extra baseball. But, good. We mentioned Corey Kluber, a lot of good that can be taken out of this, and let's talk about some of that. And Michael Brantley, the seasons that both of them had, and as I said, I know you're going to say I'm nuts maybe right now. They're not going to do nothing, and they have already started saying we're going to come pretty much intact with a lot of this team, because realistically they have to. There is some room. They're going to have to bring in a bat or two. But, the wiggle room is little. Guys are going to have to go out to bring guys in because you got a lot of things in place that are still going to be in place next year. We answered some questions, and if the front office answers a couple of more here, I agree. Call me nuts. 216-539-7535. Call me nuts. But I do agree when Jason Giambi said over the weekend there, this next year, we can come back and win 100 games, no doubt, because if this pitching comes back, and I mean, they won 85 games in spite of themselves this year, and we're going to do a lot of breakdown over the next few weeks and months with all the different Tribe guys, Jeff Gorman, Mike Brandenberry, a lot of different post-mortem. I want to talk to you guys about some of that today, and we don't need to get as deep can be. They've got a whole winter to begin to work on fixing things. But as I said, 216-539-7535, back to the Sports Fix, and we're talking Tribe. And we definitely are talking Tribe on an up note, even though the season ended badly. As I said, Corey Kluber, the whole season was unbelievable. The end of it was really, this is what I said Thursday. I said, man, he's in mid-season form. His last 5 starts of the season, he just went 5-0 with 54 strikeouts in 40 innings pitched. Just an unbelievable run. And Michael Brantley, not only did he get to 200 hits, he did it on Fan Appreciation Night, by the way, which I thought was fitting right there. But he not only joins that group, which is select enough as it is, but he starts a group all of his own. Only player in Indians history with 200 hits, 40 doubles, 20 homers, 20 steals. I mean, really, going to be some MVP votes. I think Corey Kluber, of course, has much more of a chance there. I mean, obviously, Michael Brantley, you don't win the MVP when your team doesn't make the playoffs, and we know that. But he's going to get some votes. He's going to show up in that conversation. Corey Kluber, there's another one that we can get into over the next couple of days and weeks as the award gets announced, because, you can't argue with Felix. I mean, you couldn't argue either way, but, man, I can. Because I think it's Corey. I was joking with somebody on Twitter the other day. He said, what do you think about Corey Kluber for the Cy Young? I said, I think they should rename it the Cy Young, only if it's okay to call it that by Corey Kluber Award, because he's the man. And I think that he also answered, speaking of next year, here's one of the reasons that I'm fired up. I think he answered the question, can he come back and do it again? And I think, maybe he doesn't come back and do it again at this level, but I don't think it's going to be that far of a drop-off either, because he's already shown us that he came back even stronger before there, too. And let's talk about all of that. I'm going to let you guys go. I've been going here for the first few minutes. Caller, you're first up on the Sports Fix. We're talking some Tribe on the first day with no baseball in 2014.
Yeah, it's a pretty sad day, J-Rock.
Hey, Bruce, what's up, my man?
Hey, I just wanted to talk a little Tribe and give you my take on the season.
Absolutely, obviously, let's start with 85 wins there, Bruce. Now, I will bring this up, and this is one of those, maybe, disappointed fans don't want to hear it today, but as we said, they did back-to-back victories, or back-to-back winning seasons, first time since 2000, 2001. They also, between last year and this year, combined for 177 victories. That's the most 2-year span of victories since 07 and 08, which we know 07 they nearly won 100 games, and then they played 500 the next year. And I actually think this is a better place to be in than where they were at the end of that streak, because as we saw, that 81 slipped down, and then we know what they went into for the next couple of seasons there after that one peak 96-win season in 2007. I think here, this team, and I know some people are going to say, oh, well, you also called them a team of destiny, but they came close. But this team here is poised with a much higher ceiling next year. That's not homerism. That's not, I just like the Indians. So I think, no, I'm telling you, tell me what you think, Bruce. I think you add the right bat to this lineup. You come back with practically this same pitching. You maybe add an option or two in there. This team coming for bear next season.
Well, I'm not set on Bauer. I'm not sure Bauer is, what we're actually looking for in this rotation.
I don't know if Tito is either.
Veteran.
Real quick, you brought up Bauer. Did you notice the other day? I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen a manager without standing at a press conference with a sign and just saying, listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, make a more direct message to a player than he did to Trevor Bauer when he credited him in so many ways and said, boy, if he would just let his guard down and let Mickey Callaway get in there and trust him to be a part of his circle with his group there, so that they could really take him to the next level. Because I think that the Indians have done a good job of keeping it out of the media, but I think that behind the scenes, he's been every bit as frustrating for the Indians as he was for Arizona, which is the reason that they were willing to trade him in the first place.
Exactly. I think we need a veteran starter. I mean, I'd like to see one that we can get relatively cheap, not